Welcome to Connect with Rohan on Ideal Island from Sri Lanka. Can you guess where I am today? I'm not 100 miles or 200 miles away from the city of Colombo, but just a few miles away in Mount Lavinia, Galkissa, a suburb very close to the city of Colombo. And I'm in a semi-rural or perhaps a rural-looking environment. And our cameraman will pan out and show you the whole place. There is a compost bin, there is a little garden. Well, it's actually a large garden with a coconut tree and a lot of fruit trees, flower trees, etc. Someone who is dedicated to actually water, a natural resource, the best drink on earth. Water for life, drinking water, health, food, energy nexus. Professor A.W. Jayawardena, he's the gentleman I'm going to meet today. Professor Jayawardena?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice to meet you, sir.
Welcome to my house.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
A very warm welcome to Ideal Island. In my intro, I was walking into this beautiful home of Professor A.W. Jayawardena. Professor Jayawardena has been is a proud Sri Lankan and has been involved in both water and irrigation and hydraulics, starting from the paradise island of Sri Lanka, extending his lifestyle and the work life beyond the shores of Sri Lanka. Professor Jayawardena, a very warm welcome.
Thank you so much.
Very nice to have you on this program,
yeah,
sir.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Great to have you. You are a Sri Lankan, born which year? When were you born?
1940.
1940.
Yeah.
So that the country was colonial Ceylon.
Yes.
8 years before independence.
Yeah.
Walk us through your childhood.
Yeah.
Talk to our viewers about your parents, which school you went to, and your journey up to the university in Ceylon.
Yeah.
Talk to us about it.
Okay. Now, I was born in a village, very remote and very undeveloped village.
Where is this?
That village is called Välihelätänne.
Välihelätänne.
Yeah. And it is about maybe 15 kilometers from Yatiyantota. Going through the tea estates, rubber estates, and then the village. The only, I think the main vegetation there is rubber.
Mm-hmm.
There are a little bit of tea, but mainly rubber. So I was born into a very poor family. My father was a normal kind of laborer. My mother did not go to school. She just looked after us when we were children. I had 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
2 sisters.
I am the oldest.
So you are the eldest in the family?
In the family, yeah.
Right. And Välihelätänne, yeah? Välihelätänne. So was it connected to Yatiyantota by road, or how was it connected?
No, it is connected by road.
Right.
Through estates, rubber and tea estates.
Estates,
yeah.
Right.
The roads were actually not belonging to public at that time. They belonged to the owners of the
rubber plantation.
It is a rubber plantation and tea plantation.
Right.
But then later on, they became public roads.
Right.
Now they are public roads.
Right. So which did you, what was the first school you attended?
The first school I went is Widhanelage Primary School, up to 6th standard. And it was all Sinhala, no English. There was one English teacher who came to teach English, and he, I think I was there during his term for about a year or so, because this is, he joined the school only about a year before I left that school. So when I left the school, I was not able to communicate in English.
So for a good 6 years, your primary education
Was in Sinhala.
was in the Sinhala medium.
Sinhala medium.
And then you joined which school?
Then I sat for the 5th standard scholarship exam, and then I got the scholarship, and then I went to Ruangwalla Central School.
So which year was this when you sat?
I went to Ruangwalla Central in 1952.
1952, yeah. So you went to Ruangwalla.
Yeah.
I mean, what was the distance like from your home, Välihelätänne to Ruangwalla?
Yeah.
Quite far? Was it far?
Well, it's quite far. I mean, from, if you judge from distances nowadays, it is not far. But those days, the traveling was not so convenient. There were no buses. There were some buses which started from the village and then went to Yatiyantara. That only one bus one day. Like, yeah, and then coming back, the same bus. So traveling was not convenient, and most people used to walk.
Right. So
I walked.
You
quite a
walked. About how many miles?
From Välihelätänne to Yatiyantara, maybe more than 10 miles, I guess. More than 10.
10 miles one way.
One way, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I see. So you mentioned earlier to me off camera that you went for the 5th year scholarships.
Yeah.
And you topped the list, or you got selected to the local school, Yatiyantara.
Not Yatiyantara. No, the local school was in Välihelätänne.
Yeah, and then from Välihelätänne.
From there, the central college in Ruangwalla.
Ruangwalla Central College, right, I see. So how was life at Ruangwalla Central College for you?
Ruangwalla Central College was good because that was quite different from the primary school in Välihelätänne. People from various places came there, whereas Välihelätänne is only village people. So we were able to kind of live happily. And of course, it's a hostel with very tiny accommodation, and the food was always either paripu and bat and paripu.
Of course, yes. Basic food. So, Professor Jayawardena, you entered Ruangwalla Central College.
Yes.
What was the medium of education? Because you were at the primary school in
Ruangwalla
Sinhalese.
Central, it was half English, half Sinhala.
What do you mean half English, half Sinhala? What do you mean?
No, because some of the teachers were not very fluent in English.
Right.
But in theory, they were supposed to teach in English. But in practice, it didn't work that way. So when I left Ruangwalla Central, I was not able to communicate in English with an outsider.
But you did all your subjects in English, so you were able to write and express.
Yeah, writing and reading, no problem.
No problem. It's just the
talking.
Talking, right. So you did your senior school certificate, GCE O levels, today's viewers. Your SSC was at that school? The senior school certificate?
Senior school certificate.
Yeah.
I got the first division pass, which was for the first time from that school.
So you got a first division at the SSC. So that's something new to me as well, because in the GCE O levels and A levels, you have credits, distinctions, passes and fails.
Oh, yeah.
But you got the first division.
Those days, the system was different.
Right.
Yeah.
So you sat your SSC in...
They had, at that time, senior school certificate, you have the ordinary pass, second class pass, first class or first division pass.
And you got the first division.
Yeah.
So you topped the batch there, as we say in Sri Lanka. So from there, with the first degree...
No, from there...
Yeah, from there, where did you go?
There was... I had to make a big decision because there was no higher school certificate in science in Ruangwala Central. So either I have to leave the, change my subjects or leave the school and then look for a job. But the principal of Ruangwala Central College at that time was a Tamil, and his name was Rajadure, and he was also my teacher in mathematics and other subjects, related subjects.
I would say he was a Sri Lankan Mr. Rajadure, right?
Sri Lankan
yes,
Mr.
yes,
Rajadure.
yes.
He's a Jaffna Tamil.
Right.
Right. So he suggested me to go to a school in Jaffna.
In Jaffna?
In Jaffna, which he said he will introduce,
Yeah.
and which I did not like because Jaffna is too far to go and expensive.
Yeah, just to add, at that time, and for a long period of time, most of the Jaffna schools were very well known for their educational output.
Yes.
So that's why perhaps Mr. Rajadure recommended you there.
Yeah.
Right.
Because at that time, if you remember, in the university entrance examination of my batch, there were only 59 students from the whole of the country admitted to the engineering faculty. And of the 59, more than 30 were from Jaffna.
Right. So that was because their education system was more streamlined?
No, I think that is because their education system was better than in other places. Because the local Sinhala schools were not well equipped and not well staffed.
Right. There you are.
Colombo is different.
That's different.
Colombo is different.
Yeah, so out of Colombo, what in Sri Lanka we call it the outstations, they were ill-equipped, but Colombo, Jaffna, those areas, the schools in those areas
Colombo, and a few from Galle,
Kandy,
and also a few from Kandy.
Yeah, they had
Very
all
few.
the facilities. Yeah, right. Okay. So you didn't go to Jaffna. Where did you go instead?
Jaffna, no.
Where did you go instead?
No, I went to Wayangoda.
Wayangoda. What do you mean Wayangoda where?
Wayangoda Central.
Wayangoda Central. So Ruangwala Central College.
To Wayangoda Central.
To Wayangoda Central. You opted out of Jaffna, and that was for your HSC, Higher School Certificate.
Higher School Certificate,
right. Tell us about that journey from there, what happened. Yeah.
Yes.
Right, HSC.
And then the university after that.
Which university?
There was only one university at that time. The whole country had only one university, and that was called University of Ceylon.
University of Ceylon. Right.
And there were two campuses, one in Peradeniya and the other in Colombo.
And you went to which campus?
Colombo, because engineering faculty was in Colombo.
Right. So this was not at Moratuwa then?
No, Moratuwa was not a university at that time.
Ah, right. What was it?
It was a technical college.
Yes, I do recall when I was a small boy as well. I think it was at that time it was a polytechnic, because a technical college became a polytechnic.
It was called Institute of Practical Technology.
You're absolutely
IPTK.
Right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. So it's of course a university of very high standing, both nationally and internationally. Now the University of Moratuwa, but there you are when you were doing your what in today's terms the A levels, his HSC. It was a technical college. So you went to University of Ceylon, Colombo campus to do engineering.
Yeah.
Who did you meet there? You contemporaries, any colleagues that you can talk about?
Oh yeah. Now I forgot to mention another colleague who passed away was, as John suggested, Michael Joachim. Joachim, and he was born on the same year, same month, same day as me.
A fellow Sri Lankan.
But a burger.
Right. Okay. So it's the word burger in Sri Lanka. We have so many. We are a multi-ethnic country. We have the Sinhalese, the Tamils, the Muslims. Of course, Islam is a religion. Malay, Javanese, that is, and also Euro-Asians, Eurasians, we call them here, burger community, Dutch burger, Portuguese burger, English, and so on. Right, so Michael Joachim was a contemporary, and who else that you can think of?
No, he finally ended up as the, I think, Secretary for Housing, I think. I can't remember.
In the government, in the civil service.
Civil service, yeah.
In the Sri Lanka Civil Service at that time.
But he was an engineer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving on from there, you were at the University of Ceylon, Colombo. You graduated. You became an engineer?
Yeah, civil engineering. Graduated in 1963.
Right, in 1963 as a young man. What was your first job?
No, the first job was in the Katubad, the IPTK.
Right, that's
as an
another
instructor.
Yeah.
For a couple of months.
Couple of months.
Or a temporary job.
Right.
And then I got a permanent job in the irrigation department as an engineer, irrigation engineer.
And you were what was your first posting?
First posting was in Min area, Hinguragoda Min area.
Really out of Colombo?
Out of Colombo, of course, out of.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Because anyone
hydraulics and irrigation.
No, anyone new appointee will be sent out.
Outside, yeah. So what did you do there?
No, the main job I did was surveying, a jungle surveying, which the chief engineer at that time was also, I think, Cook. His name was Cook.
Cook, yes.
Yeah. So he asked me to do a survey, and there were elephants also roaming around in the jungle.
You had elephants, you had malaria, mosquitoes. Everyone was there, and the human beings as well.
Yeah.
This was before the Mahaveli diversion?
Before.
Right, right. What year was this in approximate terms?
This must have been about 1960, late 63 or 64, early 64.
Right. So you were there, and then from there you came back to Colombo, or did you serve
No,
in
then
other
I was transferred to Hasalaka.
Near Mahayangana?
Near Mahayangana.
Right.
Yeah.
All
where I worked for, I think, about more than 1 year. And then to the head office.
Jayawardena Road? Colombo 5?
Yeah.
Oh, Colombo 7, depending on where you say. Yeah, okay. So,
and then from Jayawardena Road, then I applied for this scholarships, Japanese government scholarship, and then I got selected, and then left to Japan.
So did you have to learn Japanese first, or did they speak in English?
No, not necessarily, because after we landed in Japan, we were first put into a Japanese language school.
Right.
For, I think, about 3 or 4 months. Yeah. And then after that, I went to the best university in Japan, which is Tokyo University.
Tokyo University.
Yeah.
Professor Jayawardena says that's the best university in Japan, and
even now it is the best university in Japan.
Mm-hmm. And again, you continued your engineering in hydrology, water,
I continued my studies in the same, because I was in the irrigation department. I got interested in working in the water sector because I worked in the irrigation department. So I continued that, and then I got my master's degree from Tokyo University. Then, having got my master's degree, I either had to, because the scholarship, that was the end of the scholarship, either had to leave Japan and go back to Sri Lanka, or somewhere else, explore some other place, and for which I did not have money.
So, if I can interject you, did you not want to come back to Ceylon at that time?
At that time it was Ceylon,
Did you not want to come back, or what was your thought process? Did you want to come back here into Colombo, or pursue other higher education interests elsewhere?
Yeah, those are the options.
Options,
Yeah.
So what did you go for?
So I took this second option of looking for other opportunities to pursue further studies. That's when I said, I think in Sinhala, I said, there were 3 of us who were looking forward to go to USA, and to get USA visa, you need to show you have money.
Right.
So the 3 of us put each of us had into one account, and got a bank statement, go to the visa office, got the visa, and then withdraw that money and put it into the other person's account. Did the same thing for all 3, and got all 3 US visas with the same amount of money.
This sounds a bit mischievous.
Huh?
This sounds a bit naughty, mischievous.
No, it is not mischievous. I mean, that's when you don't have a choice.
Sure.
We didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do anything wrong.
You are interpreting the law here. I will go with it. Yeah.
We exploited the system. That's all.
Right. Okay.
We didn't do anything wrong.
You were sailing close to the sun, isn't it, or whatever? Yeah.
So we went to USA, and I was in Berkeley.
Oh, yeah, Berkeley University.
UC
yeah.
Berkeley.
Yeah, UC Berkeley.
And there also I got another master's degree. And then after getting the master's degree, because USA was very expensive, tuition fees were very high, living costs were very high. I did all kinds of odd jobs.
Yeah.
But that was not enough to support.
Right.
And then we also got married at that time.
Mm-hmm.
That added another dimension.
Mm-hmm. More responsibilities.
Yeah. So then I decided to look for other options. At that time, Sri Lankans were eligible to go to UK and work without a visa.
Yeah, because they were Ceylon visas and they did not need visas unlike now.
So, not like now.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to UK. And then went to UK, and then first few months was tough. But then I got admitted to the best universities. They are also University of London.
University of London.
Where I did my PhD.
You read for your PhD at the University of London.
University of London.
What did you do your PhD or read in? What was it about, the PhD?
It's about water.
Same again.
Same, yeah.
Continuation.
And then after my PhD, I got a job in the private sector, consulting engineering company.
In London?
Well, no, in UK.
Yeah.
And there, their office was in Reading, and I was living in London. So I drove from London to Reading every day and then back.
So whereabouts in London were you?
I think at that time I was in Crystal Palace.
So from Crystal Palace in London, you drove to the offices in Reading in Berkshire, right?
Every day.
Okay.
So I used to have my breakfast in the car while driving.
Yes.
So it was okay because I was young at that time.
You had the energy and
that was okay.
determination, all of that.
So I completed that. And then I was looking for other jobs.
So you were working in Reading, traveling by car every day, having your breakfast whilst driving, living slightly dangerously, but you were a young man. You had the will and the determination to carry on that lifestyle. You had a family then, a young family at that time?
I had a son.
You have a son at that time, and living in Crystal Palace in London. How long did that
I
continue?
think I lived in London for about 5 years, around 5 years.
5 years, right. Yeah. So what made you leave London and where did you go
because
to?
I wanted to explore academic jobs. So I started applying for university jobs. And then I applied for many universities and all of them offered me jobs.
Where were they? Which universities?
I applied for a university in Nigeria, Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and somewhere else. And Libya.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And they all accepted you?
They all offered me jobs. But I decided to go to Hong Kong.
Why Hong Kong?
Because Hong Kong is halfway between Japan and Sri Lanka, and the terms were quite good.
What was the connection to Japan then?
Huh?
What do you mean by halfway between
because
Sri
Japan,
Lanka?
my wife is from Japan.
Oh, I see. Your wife is from Japan. So it was, Hong Kong was midway point.
Yeah.
Right. So it was more convenient for both your homes, Sri Lanka or Japan. And which year was this in Hong Kong?
I went there in 1977.
So that was the British Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Not the People's Republic?
Not the present
right,
Hong Kong. Yeah.
I see. So how was life in Hong Kong for you with the university? I mean,
for me it was quite good.
It's a densely populated country there's a lot of people in a small area of land.
Yes.
Yeah. How was life for you there?
Because I was well taken care of by my employer.
The university?
University. I had a very big flat, which normal people are unable to afford.
Right.
And I got tuition fees for children paid, and also every 2.5 years I got return tickets to return to Sri Lanka
home
for
status,
the whole family.
Home status, yeah.
So these were terms which many will not dream, they are not there anymore.
Yeah, full expatriate status. Yeah.
So I always admire Hong Kong and appreciate what Hong Kong has done for us.
As a family. Yeah.
As a family and as an employer. Yeah.
And your children went to school there? Did your children go to school in Hong Kong?
Yeah. Up to A level they went there.
Right.
And the university, they both went to US.
You said both. Yeah, you have 2 children. You have 2 children?
Yes.
Right. And you retired from Hong Kong, or did you go to another country on?
No, I was in the university until retirement.
Right. And when did you retire?
I think I retired in 2007, I think.
I see. Yeah.
2007, I think. And then I got another offer from Japan, a UNESCO offer.
Post-retirement offer?
It was a UNESCO center in Japan, which they offered me a research and training advisor capacity. And I was working there for about 5 years.
And then you came down to...
then after that, of course, the age matters.
Yeah.
I came back. Yeah.
And here you are in sunny Sri Lanka.
Yeah. No, I think most of the time I'm in Hong Kong. I mean, it's difficult to say because I'm most of the time going up and down.
So your domicile of choice is Hong Kong?
Up and down. No, because I have no permanent place now.
Domicile of birth, Sri Lanka?
Yeah.
But you have a beautiful place here in Mount
Yeah, this is a nice place.
Yeah, very nice place.
But then I have another, this is half.
Half of
the other half is rented out to a Japanese lady.
I see.
And so it is nice, but the problem is to maintain. It's expensive.
Very true, very true. I mean, I think that's something that's facing most expatriate Sri Lankans, having a property in Sri Lanka, maintenance, and if you leave it closed, the house becomes pretty bad.
Yeah. This is the main problem.
Maintenance, yeah. But I must say you have a beautiful place that includes a large garden, which I think I filmed at the start. You would have seen, our viewers would have seen when I entered Professor Jayawardena's home. Before we conclude, I think there are 2 things that you mentioned to me off camera, which I want you to share. There was a very sensitive point where your Mr. Rajadure, I think, wanted you to go to the Wayangoda school.
Oh, yeah.
And you told him, well, you didn't have money. What did he do?
No. He suggested, because he knew my background and he knew I was had a prospect to do higher studies. So he suggested me to go to Wayangoda Central College, which had science HSC.
The facilities.
Yeah. And he said, he will give you a letter, but I didn't have bus fare to go to Wayangoda.
So you didn't have the bus fare from Ruanwala to Wayangoda, so you told him? And back, of course. Yeah.
So Rajadure gave me the bus fare.
To go to Wayangoda?
To Wayangoda. So I went to Wayangoda and then I got admitted there. And then from there onwards, I was in Wayangoda until I got to the university.
And the school boys used to wear
long trousers.
I know the backstory because we had a chat before the filming started, and he mentioned 2 things, but I couldn't capture it.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm towards the end.
They used to wear long trousers and shoes.
HSC students. Right.
And I didn't have long trousers. I didn't have shoes. So I told you in Sinhala, when I came back, there was a guy who was living near my house in my village, who got married maybe 1 or 2 years earlier, and he had bought a pair of shoes because of his wedding. And he gave me that pair of shoes, which I used in the school at Wayangoda Central and also in Colombo in the university until it tore away.
That's very, very important actually for our viewers to understand.
That is where I think the difficult life sometimes can help you to think more positively. Think positively.
Before we conclude this program, I think you started on it. I want you to continue. What's the message you can give to our the younger generation and that younger generation?
Yeah, I think the younger generation realize is that they should work hard and be independent of others. If you wait for others to help you, you will not go anywhere. This is what has happened to our country also, because our country is always depending on other countries, but not trying to develop our country. The politicians are doing all kinds of rotten work to make themselves rich, but not the country rich. So in the same way, I think each individual must try their own means of moving forward. I was mentioning about the Chinese philosopher Confucius. He is no longer there. He is, I think, the most famous philosopher in China. He has said to the Chinese people, if you work hard, you can get to anywhere you want, regardless of your beginning. The only thing is that you have to work hard and be independent of others. So this is the message which I have for the young Sri Lankans and also for the country. Young Sri Lankans are also used to depending on somebody, maybe parents, maybe some others, or maybe illegally. So that will not take them anywhere.
Thank you so much on that very warm and most important note to our message to our younger generation. I thank you, Professor Jayawardena.
Thank you. So thank you for interviewing.
I wish you Aibo Eva in Sinhalese.
Aibo.
Thank you.
Ideal Island, where truth speaks.